I am an African person, so I believe in African fabric, so it makes me comfortable and gives me a lot of confidence. So for me, I appreciate natives more. Absolutely not. I'm not. This is not what I dreamt of doing as a child. I've always wanted to become an engineer, but I'm here doing education today, and I love it. I'll consider myself as a thinker and also a doer. I think they go hand in hand because every creative thinker is also a creative doer. I think it's the fact that I am a first generational Christian, which is not something that is known about me by so many people. It's the fact that beyond working as a team, we treat each other as family, as the culture of family, of oneness. When one is hurt, every other person is hurt. When one is in need, every other person runs around to ensure that you're back on your feet. And for me, it's homely for me, right? Be open-minded. As much as you have all the skills and all the expertise that brought you into the job, it's also important that you learn the culture within the workplace, because you're going to be working with people, you're going to be working with new set of people that have different set of beliefs, and you need to understand how they think for you to be able to get the best out of them. So when you walk into a new working space, the first thing I will suggest or counsel anyone to do is to first understand their environment, understand what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. That way, you will do your best. That way, you will not infringe on other people's right, even when you're doing the right thing. Right? Is being given a task and not knowing how to do it, and not also owning up to the fact that I don't know. So I just left it in the dark and hoping that someone will forget about it. But I think it's not healthy, and I wouldn't want anybody to go through that same route. So that's why I said be open-minded. When you come into your workplace, don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to say, oh, I need help here, because that's the way you can actually get true help. If you speak, if people know that you need help, they will be willing to help, right? So yeah, I think that is the biggest mistake that I've made. Well, while I was much younger than this, in my head, like, oh, when I'm 30 years, I'm just going to take break off work and just go around the world. But yeah, I'm 30 now, 30 plus, and I'm still here. I think 45, yeah, 45 will do it with God. With this statement, with God on my side, 45, right? I feel at that point in time, it will give me the opportunity to really be there as a father and as a husband. It will allow me to concentrate more on kingdom advancement, because I'm a spiritual person, and I believe that at that time, it's another phase of my life that I want to really devote to God and to His things, to His kingdom. So yeah, that's just basically it. That was in 2021. It came from my fiancée, then now my wife. It was the normal basic things of life, but the first time that it was coming from someone that I really cherish so much. It was a pack of several basic things, and for me, somebody could have sat down, thought about it, and even without seeing many things, could just guess the size and everything was just a perfect fit. And they were just usually casual friends, nothing serious and all of that. And you know, one way or the other, we are here today, and she's my wife now. So if you're watching this, I want to say thank you. Thank you. Well, AREAi is a big name, is a household name now, even in Nigeria. So, and I believe with the crops of people that I've been able to work with over the past few years, the future holds great stuff for us because with what we have in stock now, with what we have dishing out, it's only a matter of time that you will not be able to speak about any non-profit in Nigeria and not mention AREAi. So I see AREAi becoming the UN of Nigeria, I see AREAi, getting to the apex of, I don't know, I don't want to compare it to any other organization, but for me, I see AREAi becoming the UN of Nigeria, yeah. It's the fact that it revolves around my everyday life. Sometimes it's difficult for me to separate my work from my everyday life because it's just the same normal conversation and just the same normal relationship building, the same way of understanding how people think and how you can really support people based on how they feel or what the issue is. So it surprises me that I can actually get paid for living my daily life, for living me, for becoming me, for being able to speak me, right? So I think that's what surprises me. And this is me saying that there's nothing you're doing out there that is actually a waste of time. It's just being able to build capacity around it to make it more professional, right? Because it talks about my work revolves around effective communication, being able to build relationship, being able to identify communities that have issues that are related to what we do. And these are things that people just do every day of their life, and so it's still a surprise to me, right? I've never thought about the fact that I could create any form of holiday from the usual ones we already have. So, but for me, if I have the power to create or make one, it will be what I call God's holiday. Just a day of where we as human beings just be with God. And I know you will say, what about Sundays for Christians and what about Fridays for Muslims? But this day will just be strictly for God, where we as His children can summon God and say, God, sit down. We want to talk to you now. All of that in my head, and we can just have that father to son relationship.